Denzel's got an 8 o'clock class he wants to get mentally prepared for.
Yep.
All right, we're joined by Creighton head coach Greg McDermott as well as senior forward Denzel Mahoney. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
I didn't know exactly what to expect coming off a layoff. I was pleased with our practice. I thought we got better last week, working on some of the things we needed to work on. And then I thought our prep for DePaul was really good. I thought the scout team was locked in. I thought the guys approached it with tremendous focus and a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy, which I had hoped to see. And, then we came out a little bit flat. But I thought after that initial 5 minutes, I thought they settled in on both ends of the floor. I think DePaul scored 12 points the last 25 possessions of the half or something like that. So defensively, I thought we were really good. Made Charlie Moore's looks tough, which you have to do with him. And then, we won the battle of the, second chance points, which DePaul's really good chasing it on the glass. And I thought we did a good job there. So, got through that break. We got the win coming out of it. And obviously we got an important one on Saturday.
We will go to questions. We'll start with Emma Gallagher.
Coach, you talked yesterday about the break being a chance to work on some situational things. Do you see any of those specific skills or drills come up tonight?
Yeah, I don't know how applicable it was tonight. We worked on some late game stuff, different situations throughout the game, zone offense, zone defense, and not a lot of that came into play tonight. I think the key tonight is, I think our guys were fresh. I think that time off and being able to rest for a few days and get their bodies feeling a little bit better. Denzel's shoulder was bugging him, and we got guys that are a little bit banged up. So to get that kind of break this time of the year, while it might cause you to have a little bit of rust that I think we saw early in the game, I think long term I'm hopeful that pays off.
John Niatawa.
Yeah, Denzel, Coach McDermott mentioned you guys' defense. What did you like about what you did on that end of the floor to kind of make it tough for DePaul after maybe the first 5 minutes or so?
We just got locked in as a team. As Max said earlier, we just had a little rust with the time off that we had, but I felt like mentally we were there, and after that first media timeout, we just locked in.
Matt DeMarinis.
Yeah, this is for Denzel. I guess, do you think you guys' internal clocks were just a little bit out of whack because of the long layoff? And was there a point in the game where you felt like it all started to flow better in your opinion?
I think we had a little rust. I think there's like a little internal clock that we just had to get our timing, our game rhythm back, and I think that's what happened in the second half of the first half. Got it back and then took it over to the second half.
Again, if you've got a question, please use the raised hand feature. We'll go back to Matt.
This is for Mac. I think DePaul usually gets to the free throw line around 7 or 8 times a game. Tonight they only attempted 3. What did you attribute that to from a defensive perspective?
I thought for the most part, Matt, we were able to keep them out of the lane, and we did a decent job on the offensive glass. They missed 40 shots. They only got 10 rebounds. So, that's where they get a lot of them, second opportunities and getting to the paint. And, we plugged up some of those driving lanes and, early in the game especially, we probably overhelped on a couple of occasions and let them tee up a couple three-point shots that kind of got them started. And obviously coming off the game that they just played at St. John's, you don't want to give a team confidence, so that was not part of the plan. But, we try to play without fouling the best we can. And, I thought our guys were aggressive, yet, were able to execute our defensive plan without fouls.
John?
Well, you touched on it a little bit, but what does stand out about your defense? I think about the game where you held them to whatever it was, 37% shooting, and Georgetown, obviously. I guess 3 games in a row where you guys just seem to be incredibly locked in and almost mistake-free. I'm sure it's not that, but it just seems to look really good. What is it for you?
Yeah, for the most part, we've had, a couple games that were an anomaly. I think certainly Marquette at home, where they scored over 1.3 points per possession. But for the most part, we've been a better defensive team this year. And as the season has gone on, I think they've become more connected. I think their ability to follow and trust a scouting report has gotten better. And let's face it, I've got some veteran guys out there. Marcus and Denz and DJ and Mitch and Christian have been around, and they've played a lot of basketball together, and they're getting better by the day of covering up each other's mistakes. And it's basketball is a game about mistakes. It's a game of mistakes. Sometimes on offense, do your mistakes cost you? On defense, when you make a mistake, can you somehow make sure that mistake doesn't cost you 2 or 3 points? And this group has done a pretty good job of that. But we for the most part, I felt like DePaul took the shots that we wanted him to take.
Emma?
This is also for Coach. So towards the end, both Alex and Ryan had a little run at the end of the second half. How special is it to see those guys off the bench making an impact?
Yeah, I told the team after the game. I thought Sharif and Alex and Antoine and Ryan both impacted the game in a positive way. Sharif and Antoine and Ryan had moments in the first half. Alex had some really good moments in the second half. So that was really good to see, because that was part of our mission and goal last week in practice, was let's get these guys some runs against each other. Let's try to get some confidence in their game and get them to understand our plan a little bit more. They're not as experienced as the 5 guys that I mentioned earlier, so there's going to be a few more mistakes, and there's a little bit more of a learning curve, but they're moving the right direction. And it was great to see Jake come in and have an impact. He's, nobody understands what that kid's been through. So really, really proud of him, that he's persevered and put himself in a position where he's been able to have an impact on this team. And then the scout team, it's, we're not ready to play and do what we do if they don't execute what we need them to execute in practice. And, I tip my hat to those guys. And all you need to do is watch the guys on the bench while they're on the floor, how they're supporting and cheering for them, because these guys understand the impact that they have on our team. And 32 years of coaching, it's the first time I've ever called one of the other team's plays late in the game, because I knew they knew those plays better than they knew our plays. And they actually tried to execute one of DePaul's plays. So really proud of the guys, the non-starters that stepped up tonight.
Matt?
That's pretty funny. My question's along those lines, but it's for both of you, actually. The first one for Mac, I guess, is did you call that set for Jacob to tee up the 3 for Godfathers? And then Denzel, I just wonder what your reaction was when you saw it.
That just came out of the flow of the offense, but Jake could make a couple free throws, so he decided he'd back up a little bit.
He's, as Max said earlier, Jake's been through a lot, and just to see him out there and smile and have just watching him hit that 3 and how excited he was, that just meant the world to us. So we were rooting for our guy.
Got time for 2 or 3 more questions. We'll start with John.
Denzel, one play that stuck out, or sequence kind of stuck out to me. I think you missed like an open 3 in the second half, and then the next time down, though, like defensively, you came and got a steal. So I think you held down at the post and got a steal. I just wonder, like, have you had to work hard to sort of flip that switch? You're a good shooter, the shots don't go in, but then make sure that you're able to lock in on defense. Like, how much work have you put into that to train in your mind to just be able to make an impact on that end, even if the shots aren't going in?
I think that's one of the biggest things that I've worked on this senior season. Just, have that next play mentality. Sometimes I might not have my shot going, but I can't let that affect my whole game. I got to help the team on the defensive end as well, so it's about the team.
Matt DeMarinis.
Yeah, this is for Mac. I guess, you mentioned the slow start to lay off a little bit, but where did you see specifically from Marcus and Christian at the second rotation they got tonight? Because it seemed like that was quite a bit different than the first one, and it kind of lifted you guys up.
Yeah, Denzel brought up a great point. I think the guys, I thought they kind of got fatigued quickly, and you go up and down some in practice, but as Denzel will tell you, the game intensity is just different. And when you haven't experienced that for 11 days, and I think you're seeing it with some teams that have been on pause because of the virus, they come out of it, and it just really takes them a while to get back in the flow. Now, we had the opportunity to practice, so obviously we're not to the level of some of those teams, but I think it took us a few minutes to kind of, get our legs back and get our wind back. And once we got our second wind, I thought we competed very well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, Marquette's win at North Carolina tonight. That's sometimes I don't know that our league gets enough credit. And for a team like Marquette, number one, to take that game at this time of the year when they had been struggling a little bit, I think it's a credit to Wojo and his staff and his team to go on the road and beat a team that was that's fighting to get into the NCAA tournament, that's played extremely well. And I hope that opens up some eyes that this league's a little bit better than everybody thinks it is.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.